Why?
Because he mistook the timetable for today.
You can drop without penalty up to second week, right? Uh, um, it's good. It's good if you stay. I'll just want to get like a fair warning. It's gonna get harder actually. Yeah, it's gonna get harder. You gotta get sadder and sadder, right? You try to get comfort from your friend, but your friend ignore you, like that sort of thing. 2 minutes. Setting this up. Okay, so this is what's gonna happen. We're going to have a very brief lecture to continue from Monday, so that I can introduce you to the concept of a growth curve and why do we do growth analysis. Okay, so that shouldn't take too long. I think about 20-30 minutes we should be done. And then before we proceed with the lesson about how to quantify growth classically using various formula, I think I'm going to change the way the lesson is delivered to you slightly for this semester. I want you, rather than use the raw data, I know you have given the raw data, but that's pretty much fictional. I want you to acquire your own data. So what's going to happen is, after the lecture, you need to go down. We got the lab assistant will show you where, to the courtyard. You see the courtyard in the middle here? Yeah. That's very green, right? Yeah, I built that. That's the appointment term has expired. It used to be more beautiful. You need to pick some leaves based on your feeling whether they are thick or thin. So each group, there are how many of you? 6 or 7, right? So each group, you need to pick 2 sets of leaves. 3 leaves that you think, or your friends consensusly think are thin, and 3 leaves that you think are thick, just based on your tactile sensation, your feeling, right? Yeah, you can use marker or pen to write the label of the leaf. Thick 1 for the leaf number 1, thick 2 for the leaf number 2, and so on. But make sure you do not break the leaf. Okay, and then you're going to take these leaves, proceed to the physiology lab, and then quantify the area of the individual leaf that you have labeled. Jot down this area in square centimeter or meter square, depending on the machine soon. And then once you're done, you proceed to weigh the fresh weight of it. Just that. So pick the leaf, 3 thin, 3 thick, based on your feeling, and then get the data for leaf area and also leaf fresh weight. And then come back here. I'll show you how to do the calculation based on your activity that you've done. Okay, so the whole idea is because this is growth analysis is pretty much mathematics, and this is not Form 5 anymore. You are given a set of questions, and then you wonder why Ali bought 250 bananas in one trolley. You kind of wonder why. So you since you are a science student, so it's very important that you understand the process to do the science. Okay, it start off with hypothesis and objectives, and then you want to validate your hypothesis. So your hypothesis here is simple. Number 1, you base on your tactile sensation whether the leaves are thick or thin, and then you're going to use scientific instrument to validate your hypothesis. Is it true? Because this formula, which is explained in here, you got this thing right. It's going to tell you whether the leaf is thin or thick based on mathematical calculation. Okay? So once you're done with this, the rest of the exercise, I hope you can do it by yourself. Okay? Right. Okay. Not to worry, we'll go it gradually so that people can. So I know sometimes people get into biology because they don't like mathematics, but don't get scared with mathematics. It's just a tool. Okay. It just opens up the science and help you to understand better. Right. So let's go on. What time now? Can we start now?
Yeah.
I know. Okay. Good. Oh, I need to see the computer. No. Put it there. Careful. Why this thing tangles so much? Sebab ini, kau tengok brand apa? Ada ni brand apa? Why is it blank? Blank. Why blank?
Siapa dia ni?
Okay, so let's
Sorry.
okay, you can stay here if you want. Attendance? My class do not have attendance. That's even more fun. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue from the lesson from Monday. Growth and development. So, read that. So it says, if someone sow a seed in garden or in pot, after a few days, he or she would find a tiny seedling coming out from the seeds. And as they pass, the tiny seedlings grows in size, the number of leaves increases, and later it grows into a mature plant and produce flowers and fruits. So these whole events, you sow, it germinates, and it gets bigger and larger from no leaves to 2, 3, 4 leaves, from no stem to very tall and slender stem. So from the seedling that looks probably spherical or very small, and then you got this mini plant. So this whole thing is collectively known as growth and development. Remember from your lesson, growth is purely the increase in biomass of the plant. It's irreversible, okay? Especially if the plant is quite old, okay? It's not due to water. It's actually due to, because plants can photosynthesize, make its own food, the carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen have been turned into its own biomass, the backbone of it. So that's why it's pretty much stay in the plant forever, right? And this is why it is highly encouraged to grow trees, to grow plants, to mitigate global warming. Because the reason of you having global warming, because you have so much carbon in the air. So you want to capture this carbon, keep it in the plant body, right? So when that happens, the temperature should be under control. And development is when the plant start off with seed, looks different, and then it looks a seedling that looks different, and then the seedling gets bigger and now producing flowers and then fruits and so on. look even more different than the original form of it. You see how it evolves? If you can't, if you need to remember, just remember Bulbasaur evolve. I think I got it right now. Bulbasaur, that's the base, right? And then Ivysaur, then Venusaur. Tak tahu. Is it wrong to watch cartoon like that? I asked the wrong group. Why this thing? This thing is weird. Up means down, down means up. Anyway, oh, that's even more weird. Why? It keep on jumping. Okay, so the measurement of growth. So this is why you are introduced with the concept of plant organs. So all plant organs, they're going to increase in size, and you can actually trace this enlargement or the increase in biomass with the progression of time. Okay, so this is how you can quantify whether your plants or your crops are doing well or otherwise. Okay, so it can be, it's quite flexible actually. It can be the increase in length or growth applicable for organs like stem and root, or increase in area or volume in case of organ like leaves. What about flowers and fruits? How can you quantify the growth of it? For example, that flower, how can you quantify the growth of flower? Can you use area or volume? Sure? Well, flowers start off as a flower bud, and then it gets bigger and it blooms. Does it increase in size or not? Yes, increase in size. It increases in size, and it increases, if you look from the aerial top, the bloom of the flower, it occupies a certain shape or form. And then you can quantify it. Take example, the morning glory. At 6 a.m., it's just a small bud. 7 a.m., you can see that it swells. 8 a.m., 10 a.m., it starts to bloom gradually. Then it gets bigger to the fullest of its capacity of blooming. Right? And then towards the evening, you reverse. Right? So flower, fruits, leaf, stems, you can use any form of measurements that is sensible to quantify the growth that has occurred. Right? So when we talk about the incremental value of anything, growth actually has a special way of increasing in values. Okay, it's not linear, meaning that every 1 hour is going to increase by 1 unit, 1 centimeter, or one square meter, and so on. But rather, it has this form of growth curve, or known as sigmoid curve. It depends on the book. Sometimes it's called sigmoid curve. Sometimes it's called logistic curve. So if you see sigmoid curve, it's actually equals to logistic curve, or S curve. Why is it called S curve? Because the shape, it looks like an S. Right. So what is it actually? You can see here, with the progression of time, on the, what axis is this? The time here, X, versus Y. On the Y-axis, it can be anything that you are measuring. So it can be growth, size, weight, or canopy area, anything. Right. You learn this is X and Y axis. Did you know that is not actually the name? Anybody know the science name of x-axis? X, then you got y. What? Did you learn in school?
No, we just know X and Y.
Oh, just not x and y. Okay. This is abscissa. This is ordinate axis. So together here, this is what? Cartesian plane. Should you learn this? Please don't say you didn't learn. If you forgot, kesian cikgu kat sekolah. Right. Okay. So X is actually, if you remember from your science lesson in school, you learned about variables, right? How many variables are there?
3.
What are those?
Constant variable.
Constant, manipulative, what else? Responding. Okay. Between the abscissa and the ordinate axis, which one is for which variable? This is how you determine what values to put here, what values to put here. X-axis is actually meant for your manipulated variable. And y-axis or ordinate axis is meant for your responding variable, whatever that you measure. Okay, it doesn't simply you just put S to your liking. No, so that's not how the science works. Okay, right. So with that understanding, let's look at here. So with the progression of time, you can see that there's a small increase in the growth, but that's very minimum. Suddenly, you can see that there is a shooting up to the rocket kind of looking on the curve, right? And then it will start to flatten off, right? So each of these, we can divide it into phases actually. So the first phase is called the lag phase. The second phase is called the exponential phase. And finally, the third one is called stationary. Again, depending on the book, sometimes it's called stationary, or sometimes you use the more common word, it's called plateau. Plateau. It means it's flat. Why this is happening? Because you are dealing with living things. Living things is a consumer. Okay, is a consumer, and it is subjected to the interaction with environmental factors. Okay, from the beginning, let's say that your seedling just germinate, you're going to get one leaf, and then you start to get the second leaf, and let's say that this is the biomass increment, okay, on your y-axis. The moment 1, 2, and 3 leaves have started to appear, the seedling now is able to manufacture its own food, right? It doesn't have to depend on the food reserve in the seed. This stage usually is the baby step. It depends on the food reserve. Do you know what food reserve in the seed is called? You got your seed. There's a food reserve in there for the seedling to germinate. What do you call that? So the food reserve is called endosperm. And it comes from the mummy. So this nutritious substance in the seed will be used by the embryo to awaken and to germinate and to grow until everything is used up and it manages to manufacture its own food. When that happens, these will become so exponential because the biomass now can like there is no limitation because plants whenever it needs more it just create more leaves, okay, it just absorb more water, it just open up bigger stomata to let the CO2 in to do more photosynthesis and so on. However, as the biomass increase, the plant actually will start to experience limitation, probably in terms of the size, or maybe due to the genetic constraint. Because if you remember from your botany, the growth habits of the plant can be categorized based on the seasonal activity of the plant. It can be annual. What else can it be? Perennial, biennial. Okay, so whether the plant is annual, biennial, or perennial, that depends on the genetic capacity of this particular seed, right? So if the plant is annual, we take the simplest, eventually it's going to stop because it has reached its own capacity to grow. When that happens, you will see that there is no increment in biomass. Everything stays stationary. It's not going to get any bigger. And usually, this is the remark when this enter. This is the reproductive stage. And exponential and lag phase, this is usually vegetative stage. Why is that happening? Because during reproduction, usually plants they do photosynthesize, but not to make new organs, but it's rather to energize nutrient remobilization. You see, as the plants have flower and the flower turns into fruits, the fruits gets bigger, correct? So this fruit gets bigger because the leaves from the older region of the plant breaks down the sugar and other elements and then remobilize it to be dumped into this developing fruit. Okay, so that's why you are not getting very much biomass increment in the stationary phase. And if the time keep on progressing, you are going to see decreasing. So this is actually called senescence or aging, or maybe death actually, in the case of annual. Right. So what about human? Is it the same? So when in the lag phase, human equivalent to what? Baby. Baby. Okay. Then what happened in exponential? Human is in what stage? Developmental stage. Puberty. Puberty, raging hormone, teens, youth, adolescent, anak dahaka, semua go to that region. Dahaka lah, parent tak bagi kau nak buat juga. Right. And then go to the stationary phase. That's the adult phase, okay? Right. And then after you have entered in certain phase, like maybe you are 70 or 80 years old, you are actually stationary and then go to senescence and aging. This is why it's very important to doing exercise and workout not only now but well into your advanced age, because if you don't do so, that's why you get osteoporosis, the brittles of the bones, because your body losing mass, and it is proven by this curve, right? Okay, about this curve, okay, before I go into the mathematics part, is that clear? Okay, that's the biological interpretation of it. What about the mathematical story behind it? What's that actually? to the scale of 10, how bad you want me to go into the math of it?
So what the point that you put quiz
Oh, you'll be surprised. I'm not like other people. Actually, my quiz, sometimes I don't call quiz. My quiz actually see how you're doing. So to the scale of 10, how much you want me to go into the math of it? 10? Are you sure?
Just give it a go.
Who says 10? 3. Who says no, I don't want 10? So tak ada? Oh, ada. Okay, alright. I'll try to put in between, somewhere in between, because most of the agriculture students that I know, the mathematics is so not that good. Right? You like to consume, but you don't like to invent or to create something new. That actually started off with mathematics weakness. Okay, you don't have to be like Einstein or anything. You just need to have some amount of fundamentals to the math. Okay. Let's see this. Ya ke macam tu? Okay. What's that? So on the Cartesian plane, how would it look? Apa tu? So does it look like this? Can it look like this? So in the mathematical function, what is the word that you call this form of function? Straight line. I know lah, straight. What you call it? Linear. So with this kind of equation, you are going to get this kind of curve. Not really curve, kind of line. It's straight. Can go up, can go down. So what about this sigmoid curve? Do you think it has got a function?
Yes.
What do you think is the function? Don't look at in the notes. I didn't put in the notes. So it should be. Let me see. Kadang-kadang aku yang tak ingat. Misalnya, okay, cos x minus. Right. So that should be the function in order to produce this S curve. So what on earth are these? I'll just write it here. L is actually, I'll just draw it again, okay? Habis dah buat dah. L is actually this thing, the peak, max point. Okay, so it should be here. L. E is actually explained in your notes. It's called the Euler's number. So what is that? 2.718, I think. Can you double check? In one of the slides, it mentioned about the Euler's number. It's a constant. Is it? 2.718. Minus k is actually the slope. So you got the slope here. That is the k. X here is any value on the x-axis. It can be here, it can be here, it can be here. X naught x naught is the midpoint of this S curve. So you got that, you got that. So the midpoint is x naught, the maximum point is L. So when you plug in all this equation, it will always give you this kind of curve. Okay, so far so good? Right. Why is it different? In here, which one is the slope? Does it have a slope in this equation? Which one is slope? So if this is m, why the slope here is k? Different scientists with different modes. Some scientists are happy scientists. Some scientists are very sad and very traumatized mentally. So they like to change the variable somehow. But actually they mean the same. Look at the name of the curve. Some call it sigmoid curve. Some call logistic curve. Some call S curve. Some, like a physiologist like me, we call it growth curve. That's another one. Growth curve. So this is to show you that in science, there are many synonyms. Okay? Depending on the context that you're talking about. Right? So it doesn't matter about this variable here. It all means the same. Right. Okay. What about this? There's no y here. So this to show you that fx is actually y. Function of x, that's how you say it. Okay? Right? If you know, then that's good for you. I don't want you to get scared with whatever you are about to see. Right? Okay. Okay. All good? All good? Good. Right. Okay. So that's enough with the explanation of the curve. Please do not forget. Okay. Maybe I should explain one more thing because you're going to see that in a bit. So one more thing, in order to enable you to use this formula, is about log. I'll just rub this, okay? Remember? Logarithm? Just now you look at the Euler's number. Okay, this is a constant. So logarithm log If you want to rearrange it, how it becomes now? It should become a to the power of x equals to n. Okay? In one of the growth parameters that you are about to learn, I think it should be in the CGR or maybe NAR, you are going to find ln. See ln? In your calculator, you always see this?
Yeah.
What's that? What's that? This is called natural log or natural logarithm. Means that this is the form log to the power of e. And what is e? No, this thing, Euler's number. Okay, so the e here is Euler's number. Okay. Who likes add math? This should bring back memories, right?
Yeah.
during school time. Maybe some of you didn't expect this. Oh, I thought agriculture can run away from math. I'm sorry to say. Okay. Slow. No, I didn't. I'm not going to teach you mathematics or anything. I'm just telling uh, jolt your memory because you are about to use this again. Just this, promise. That's all. You understand the curve. You understand about the axis. You understand about the function. Y is what, X is what, slope is what. You understand there is a constant called Euler's, and then you remember again about the log. If log in this regular form, you can reverse it to become this way. Log a to n equals x. So you can rewrite it in this form. A, which is the log this here, to the power of x, you get n again. And there is a special form of logarithm. It's called ln or natural logarithm. Natural logarithm, you log, the base of your log is not just any random number, but a Euler's number. That's all. Okay. Janganlah nampak sedih sangat. Dia dah senang lah ni. I keep saying to all my students, just because you didn't get to go to Cambridge, Harvard, Oxford, University of Tokyo, doesn't mean that the quality of the education cannot come to you. So you're learning this, right? Wow, even though you don't get to go to Cambridge, this is the thing that they learn. Ke tak nak Cambridge kind of education quality? Okay, right. Okay, so very quickly, so these are the things that you can deal with while getting the growth parameters. You can get the fresh weight, dry weight, length, area. So these are the basic usually. Fresh weight is you pluck, you weigh. And of course, if there is a morning dews or any water, obvious water droplet, you need to dry the organs first, then you weigh. And then dry weight after you have dried it in oven, because you want to remove the water, just pure biomass. And then you got the length. The length can be from certain common point, or you want to measure it progressively, or area. It can be any area. It can be leaf area. It can be canopy area. It can be a bloom area. Remember the flower story just now? Right. Okay. So let's do the growth analysis here. Right. Okay. I think for the introduction for the growth, that's all. I want to demo how to quantify growth analysis. I know in your notes, it's only said AGR, this here. AGR, CGR, RGR, NAR, and LAI. But I'm not going to demo with these parameters. I will demo using SLA and SLW in here. Yeah. You can see that actually in plant physiology, there are many parameters. I'll just skip. Yep. You see, there are many parameters, classic parameters. But at your level, we are going to learn about 5 to 7 only. Okay, if you stay in my class, because I got another class, advanced physiology, then only you'll jump into this. Right, so we're going to look at this. Can you open this thing? So this is an activity that we need to know. Do it quickly so that we can finish quickly. So what you need to do? So go to the courtyard, pick the leaves like I have explained. Do you still remember what to do? Okay, what species, whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, the whole idea of this activity is to show you that science is a process. Okay, formulate your hypothesis. So what's your hypothesis? Or maybe we start with objective first. So your objective should be for this mini experiment, leaf thickness or thickness. Thickness, is that a word? Just use the thickness. Leaf thickness can be estimated better by using a physiology equation compared to by basing on your tactile sensation, your touching. Okay, so your objective is you want to determine which is more correct by using your hand, or you want to use physiological instrument. That's the objective in order to determine the thickness of your leaf. Okay, and the third one, the second part is to formulate your hypothesis. So you hypothesize that your hand can determine whether the leaf is thin or thick. You don't need any machine. Yeah. So we want to see whether your hypothesis is correct or otherwise. That's why we validate your feeling by using this formula, SLA and SLW. You can see that centimeter square program, right? So I will explain this after you have got your data. So get ready with your notebook. Any question? All good? Okay. Remember, after you're done there, go to physiology. Do you know where physiology lab is? Tak tahu ikut Mr. Helmi. Tu, that's back Mr. Helmi dengan Mrs. Davita. Right. So they are having. Okay. So you can go to the courtyard now. Right. Do not break your leaf. We want your leaf to be intact and not too big. About maximum about this big. Okay. If you found coconut leaf, don't use coconut leaf. Right. Oh, okay. Okay. Right. So try to finish in half an hour. Okay. You may go now. And then, speaker tertinggal. Speaker kat luar. Aku kat atas cakap kat luar. Okay. Are you back? Are you back? Okay. Have a seat. Calm down. Can you help rub the board? Okay, so very quickly, there are two activities. You pick based on your feeling, whether they are thick or not, right? Can you do the ranking based on your feeling first for the leaf? Which one you think is the thickest all the way to the thinnest? Or the other way around. Maybe let's say that you have 6 in total, right? Number 1 is the thinnest, number 6 is the thickest. Based on your feeling first. Before we proceed to use mathematics to prove it. How many group we have? Okay, I would like to pick a group to volunteer as data provider. Okay, what group are you?
Group Cetaceous.
Cetaceous. Okay, all right. Yeah, can you? So you write on one side the ranking based on your feeling. Yeah. Yeah. And then the other side is the ranking based on the SLA and SLW. Dakwat dia. It's not so happy.
From the less thick to the thickest one, right?
Yeah. So number one should be
The
the thinnest.
The thinnest one.
Thin. So number whatever is the thick. So SLA ni just from small to large. Betul tak?
I thought this was because
No, no, no.
we arrange lah.
This one you just arrange according to the value.
Okay.
Small to large, small to large. Only the feeling,
Alright.
based on your perception. Your friend can help you to fill in the blank with SLA and SLW. Kau tak ada siapa nak tolong. Nah maka. Janganlah biar member kau seorang-seorang. Use good marker, okay? Because your friend at the back cannot see if it looks too fade.
Doctor, basically the specific area is just the one that we use the machine just now, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Centimeter square, right? Ke meter square?
centimeter.
Okay. Unit. Never forget to put unit for your measurement, okay? Feeling no unit, that's very subjective. That can be absolute number. Do you have micropore tape? Can you bring it? Do you still have the leaf that you use?
This one.
Can you use the tape and stick it next to it?
Alright.
Use the tape. In the meantime, you can do the same for your own group based on this template. Okay? I know this is a group work, but you can have your own individual report. Yeah. Don't rely to other people to write it down. You need to write it down yourself. Then only you can remember forever. Dah rumput apa dia ambil tu? Can you put a bit more tape? This is a bit loopy. This is why we need micropore tape in the back. Very handy. Okay, that's good. Right. Okay. Group cetaceous, right? Do you know the name of this plant? This plant that you pluck. Do you know the name?
Name of the plant.
Uh,
What is kacang tanah?
um, this is botany oriented.
Victoria.
It's okay, it's okay. So this is butterfly pea. Fly pea. This is grape. This is I think this is caladium.
There's no Canadian down there just now.
Inilah caladium tu. Yeah. This is kembang apa? Kembang? Apa dah nama? This is ficus. This is water lettuce. This is lemon balm.
Oh, what is this?
Dah tulis dah. Okay. Oh, is it calocasia? Tak apalah kita tulis dua-dua. Calocasia. Tak tahu nak eja macam mana. Lupa. Colocasia. Colocasia. The taro family. Right. Okay. Let's have a quick look at your friends group cetaceous. What have they done? So they plucked 6 leaves and they have arranged firstly according to the feeling, which is your first hypothesis, from N1 all the way until this T321. Okay, tak apalah. So, based on their feeling, they think that a butterfly pea leaf is the thinnest, while the lemon balm is the thickest. Is that correct? So, let's see here. For SLA, the rule is the higher the number, higher SLA means thick leaf. For SLW, it is the reciprocal of SLA actually, meaning that the higher SLW equals to thin leaf. So what's the sense behind it? The unit for SLA is what? Square centimeter per gram. This one, gram per square centimeter. So when you have a thick leaf, you have like the 2 leaf, and if both occupies the area of this, looks a bit bigger actually, I'll make it smaller. If both is 1 square centimeter, you know what? I don't want to do that. Let's change it a bit. Yep. So the other one is this thing. This is 1 gram. Okay. Looking at the SLA and SLW, Do you think it agrees with this feeling ranking? Let's see. Can you do the ranking now based on the value for this SLA and SLW? Just right here. Who is the lowest is number one. Who's the lowest here? Number one. Yeah. Tolong. You can take the marker. No. Based on this, looking at this, is this already in the ranking?
Because this is random.
Oh,
Because from the smallest to
okay. I'll get it. In that case, let's give abbreviation for this. So N1 is BP, this is GP, this is CL, colocasia, this is water lettuce, this is ficus FC, this is lemon balm LB. Yeah. So come back here. Can you put the label of whatever plant that is for this value? This 13.2. Which one is it? Letak lah. Kawan-kawan kau tak nak tolong ke? Sian dia buat seseorang. Butterfly, BP, grape GP, ni CL. CL hai. Okay.
That's one.
Yep, do the same. Can someone help do the summary? Yes?
Higher SLW is thicker, higher SLA is thinner.
Say again?
Higher SLA is thinner, while you wrote thicker.
Oh, sorry. Terbalik. Thank you to your friend. Fake. Sorry. Okay. Do they look the same? Number one, if based on feeling is butterfly P. So based on this, who's the thinnest? Butterfly P. What about SLW? Ini lemon balm. So it should be the thickest. Oh, it should be reciprocal for it. So does it agree? Feeling here with this. So BP, GP, CL, WL, ficus, FC, lemon balm. So boleh pakai lah your feeling tu. So is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So if your tactile sensation is correct, probably it's not a bad idea to have you don't have to run back to the lab. So this is to show you that sometimes qualitative assessment is enough for scientists to have a quick gauge whether something, in this case, thinness or thickness, to be categorized quickly. Sometimes you are in the field, you are away from the lab, but you need to do you don't have, let's say that you don't have any special equipment or anything, but you need to do the ranking first, because if you leave longer, your leaf is going to shrivel up, it's going to dry, right? So within 1 hour from you plucking, maybe you are in the jungle somewhere, you want to do this quick ranking. So actually this method is quite accurate. Okay. I'm not saying that this is the best. I'm just saying that science always comes with some amount of flexibility. All right. What about the group? Is your ranking agreeing with your tactile sensation? At least for this group, it kind of agrees. Agree? Not agree? What about this group? What group are you?
The crop top group.
Okay. Does it agree?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Who's your thinnest leaf?
Our status leaf is N3. Where is N3?
What leaf is that? Is it a thinnest?
Yes, this is the
Okay, what about the thickest? Lemon balm. That's thin. Right. Okay, what about you? Berhenti bergaduh, Ustaz.
doktor. Kan yang tu, contoh kan kita dah dapat area tadi dengan kita dah dapat dia punya weight. So kena kira kan. So memang terus letak dalam data.
It's just a ratio.
Oh.
Look at the unit. Square centimeter over gram.
Bukannya kena kira ikut unit.
No. Yeah, divide.
Betul lah.
Ratio class. If you are still a bit confusing, this is just a simple ratio. You have the reading of area in square centimeter. Simply divide that value with whatever weight that you get from the scale. So it's a ratio. What's the unit? The two components that you put together. Yeah. So did you get it? Buat. What about this group? Did you get it? Not yet. Kenapa not yet? I need to explain just a bit more for the groups that's a bit confused. So for SLA, what's the unit? Per gram. Meaning that, let's give one example. Cetaceous, can you give me one raw data for this? Maybe your butterfly pea. What is the centimeter square of it? What centimeter divided by gram? What's the reading? Yep, 9.80 divided by 0.083. So then you get berapa? 1 118. Lepas tu ada point. 0.07. Okay, this is gram, right? That is to show for every 1 gram of butterfly leaf, you get 9.8 square centimeter. This is to show that this is a thin leaf. However, for the thicker leaf, let's say lemon balm, what's the reading? Lemon balm, your square centimeter of it? 13.54 divided by 1.016 gram. What's the reading that I get? 13.327. And the unit is centimeter square per gram. Okay. So meaning that for every 1, is it gram? Betul lah. For every 1 gram of lemon balm leaf, you only get 13.33. Is that correct? Betul? Betul. 1 gram bunga telang, you get 9.8 square centimeter. Untuk lemon balm, 1 gram of it, you get 13.33. So that is to show this is thin or thick. Thin ke thick? Betul? 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 Thin ke thick?
But that 1 gram is spread out.
You need to understand. Sometimes in my exam question, I'll just simply want to see whether people understand or not. It's simply, is this right? Is that right? Betul ke? So, ada yang kata against it? Think. Yeah. You want to correct, go to correct. I do not know if you want to correct, correct. Kalau tak ada, you want to, I'm very adamant with my answer, then so be it.
The specific area for the centimeter per gram is 118, not 9.
Okay, lepas tu? Do you want to correct something on there? Go. I'll give you time to revisit your calculation and everything so that if it's needed of correction, it comes from you. That means you understand. Tak tahu. Let's see what happens. Why? Biarlah. So what seems to be the issue?
The 118 is the SLA. So
Yep.
for 1 gram of the butterfly pea, it should be 108.707.
Okay. So nampaklah ada salah. Tegang-tegang kot dekat situ. Nampak? Can I say to you, you are about to get Cambridge kind of lesson. To be a scientist, you need to open your eyes widely. Don't take anything blatantly without double checking. Even though it's from the most prestigious professor ever. Kan dah tegang-tegang aku tulis kat situ. Ada masalah kat situ.
98.
Datuk kenapa kata betul? Do you get it? No. Don't take it blatantly. This is my point. I purposely didn't write the thing. I actually write the denominator of it. Padahal jawapan tu dah ada je kat atas. You get it? Ke tak dapat lagi? Blur. You see, this is my point. Bila nak belajar mathematics dengan sains, simultaneously, you need to follow the story. You need to follow the story. I have purposely, tengok sini. Tengok. I divide this by this. Then I got this example for SLA. So sepatutnya this value yang tulis kan. Tapi kenapa aku tulis sini balik? Kan tak apa betul tu. So kenapa tadi cakap betul? So kalau cakap betul tu maksudnya tak berapa faham lah. Kan? What about the second one? What about the second one? Second one betul? Kenapa betul? Okay, alright. Don't get dampened by this. I'm just playing sikit aja tu. So in science tak boleh fikir, you cannot think linearly in science. From time to time dia nak kena ada some twist in the way you think. Alright? Okay? Okay. Alright. So the correct answer for that is actually it should be not this, but kan dah tulis kat sini. 1.07 1 gram of sambung ni je lah. Dah buat habis dah. So maksudnya 1 gram of butterfly leaf, you get so much area. Just 1 gram of it. Think of it like you are spreading a jam. Your jam is very thin. Okay. Another is you are spreading water. If you spread water, same 1 teaspoon, that water can go maybe cover the whole table because it's very thin. It's not viscous. If you use dodol or jam, the same teaspoon, can it spread the whole table? No. It will spread much less in terms of area, and that is represented by the lemon balm. 1 gram of it only occupies the area, spread area of 13.33. To show that it is thick, it's in the spreading example just now, that is the dodol or the jam. The first one, that is the thin, non-viscous spread that you use, maybe water. Give me one example of the thin spread. Nutella very thick. What? Butter. Butter dengan dodol, which one is more viscous? Butter more viscous. Are you sure? Don't get confused. Banyak lagi nak belajar. So, okay, this is the whole idea of we having this activity hari ni. You from this day forward, going on, tell yourself that you are a scientist. You will never ever think linearly. Jangan. Sebab when you think linearly, you are going to miss all the signals, good signal, bad signal, right signal, wrong signal, you're going to miss them. And then when you have done something, you do not know how to validate yourself because you don't quite understand it. If you understand it, you can double check your answer, and then when it comes to the opportunity to share your knowledge, you can use analogy like the way I do. I did just now, I give the analogy, right? The spreading. But you're talking about the leaf. How can I do that? Because I already understood that. Right? Okay? Good. Dah. Nak lagi? Okay. So this group is fine. What about your group? Ni tadi. Kau confused lagi. Kau pening lagi. Tulis unit. In your school, if you don't write down the unit, what happened to your marks? Kena didak lah. Tulis unit. Okay, that's good. What about this group? Are you alright? we don't have lots of time today. If you are not quite sure what's happening, you can ask the group that it's okay. Okay? Okay ke tak kau? Teka bel lagi. Teka bel lagi. Just repeat je macam kat depan tu.
Saya dah buat
Okay.
ni hasil dia kalau dah kira kan.
Okay. Lepas tu?
Okay, lepas tu kita orang punya yang paling tinggi.
Show me the leaf. Show me the thinnest leaf. Show me the thickest leaf.
Ni yang paling
Yang pening apa keluar minyak cakapak.
mana tu satu?
Mana? Hilang.
Tunjuk. Ya ke?
Lepas tu mana kau makan?
Satu tu ada macam tengokkan. Ada 2 nombor. Jadi satu kenapa?
Dah. Okay. Thinnest or thickest?
Sebab kalau ikut yang kita orang rasa yang ni paling tebal.
Okay, paling tebal, yang paling nipis?
Macam ni.
Okay. So, your feeling ranking tu agree tak dengan SLA, SLW? Tak agree. Kat mana yang tak agree tu? Leaf mana yang tak agree? Jadi kenapa rasa tak sama? So, you thought this thickest, tapi according to the SLA or SLW ranking, this is number what? In terms of kalau SLA?
No.
Is it the thinnest, the thickest?
No.
Okay, number what?
Sekejap, wait. This one betul.
Wait pula.
Yang ni paling nipis.
Okay.
Kalau ikutkan dia punya SLA.
Okay.
Sebab SLA
So apa masalah dengan ini? Tadi kata dia tak ikut. No, sebab tu nak kena faham motivation activity ni. You have the ranking based on your hand feeling. Then you validate dengan SLA. If it agrees macam group cetaceous, then that's fine. But if don't agree, that opens up for discussion. Why? Tangan kau pakai glove ke? Because you're a scientist, you need to be able to explain why. Ataupun sometimes the leaf tak flat, it's undulating, it's waving. So that kind of give you the illusion of thicker, but it's not really thick. The illusion kat situ. Sebab not every leaf flat. That's why I ask you, kat mana yang ada discrepancies tu? Percanggahan pendapat antara feeling dengan SLA. Is it this one? Kalau this one?
Yes.
Okay. So, you thought it was thin. Thick. Tapi, dia bukan paling thickest.
No.
So, dia nombor berapa pada belakang? 2.
3.
So, kenapa? So, mungkin sebab kenapa? Apa lagi?
Yang ini
Sebab tu tulis macam buat kat depan tu. Tengok dah cantik dah aku buat. Ambillah kertas. Ambil kertas, turn it into horizontal. Punya cantik aku buat kat depan tu.
Jadi yang kelima daripada yang tebal. Maksudnya tebal yang berapa tu?
5 paling tebal.
5 tebal.
5th tebal. Okay. Maksudnya
No, 15. Maksudnya dia dalam nipis yang kelima.
daun nipis yang kelima. Okay. Maksudnya paling tebal dia second paling top lah.
No. Third paling tebal. Third tebal lah.
Third tebal. Third tebal. Tapi kalau bagi feeling, you think this is the thickest. Tapi kalau ikut ranking tu, dia third tebal. Kenapa? As a scientist, you want to know kenapa. Cuba rasa leaf ni. Mungkin kau dah tertipu dengan illusion dia sebab dia ni ada texture velvet. Dia texture velvet. Lepas tu dia ada protruding veins. Urat-urat yang menonjol. Kita ni nak ukur daun tu, not just the urat. Then when you feel it, you rasa macam macam ada ketebalan tambahan di situ. Sebenarnya actually it's not. Because urat dia dekat luar. Kalau leaf lain, banyaknya urat dekat dalam macam ni kan. Nampak tak urat dia? Urat mid rib saja dekat luar. The rest of urat secondary, tertiary semua kat dalam daun. Yang ini dekat luar. Protruding veins. Urat menonjol. So, kau dah tertipu dengan illusion tu. Buat discussion macam tu. Kan dah belajar botany? Alright. Okay. So, before you go back home, mestilah ada di sekolah kan?
Okay.
Dah. Nak gaduh, sambung kejap lagi. So, let's spend another half an hour before you go back to do other growth parameters. Yang mana? Yang the rest of it kan? Okay. Yang ni. So you need to calculate your AGR, RGR and CGR. So macam mana nak tahu? Tengoklah nota tu. Nota dah bagi. By the way, this is kata nak Cambridge punya lesson kan? Cambridge punya lesson, demo dah bagi. So you need to be resourceful now. Look at the notes. You have understood the equations. Apa atas, apa bawah, apa X, apa Y. Plug in the equation based on the fictional data that you have. Right. Okay. You want to explain? Ke korang boleh tak tahu?
Sekejap kot.
Okay, kena ambil seseorang explain. Come, intern, come sekejap. Don't worry, I'll send help to your bench.
So actually they just find this one based on
So macam ni. Ada 4 orang kan? Setiap seorang pergi kat satu group, explain what needs to be done kat sini. Berdasarkan contoh yang buat tu. This also fictional data. Macam mana dia tahu formula tu? It's not given here. Dia kena cari nota tu. Dia kena baca semua sendiri. Okay? Right. Baca, plug in. Suruh dia buat dalam other kertas or Excel. Jadikan itu sebagai this session punya assignment. Okay? Right. So,
ya profesor balik ke atas. Jadi dia akan
okay. Pilih your group.
nak suruh mereka buat handwrite ke nak Excel je.
Up to them. Okay. Alright. Okay. So my so intern, suka hati kau panggil intern. So my students will come to your group. Seorang will get one assistant. You will be explained what to do with this. Okay. This will be your assignment. Okay. Please do your assignment. Bila nak hantar? Kesian korang kan? Let's hantar before you go back to for Raya. Okay. So you got about 2 weeks untuk buat benda ni. Alright. Okay. Pergilah. Explain. Korang ambil 2 belakang tu. Yang ni dia ambil 2 ni. Ya.
Soft copy, assignment hard copy or soft copy?
You need to have hard copy, but later scan put in your folder. Kejap, you have your own folder kat dalam ni.
Ya, I dah check dah dekat dalam OneDrive.
Yeah. Have the physical. Tapi kalau if you Excel, just have everything on Excel je lah.
Oh, so don't need to hard copy.
No. You might do the calculation on hand. Ambil lah gambar, masukkan dalam Excel tu. If whatever relevant. Flexible. Don't use one way to show your answer. Kau nak buat video boleh buat record kan. Ni POV. Kau buat calculation. Boleh juga. Give me the link to it.
Excel can use Excel. Okay. Already got
Okay. Class, listen. For your assignment, I give you the freedom to to do it in any way, if you want to submit the hard copy, you can scan, or you want to you take, for example, you have done the calculation on paper, right? But you want it to appear on your Excel, just take the snapshot and put it next to your Excel. You are going to have your own, actually you already have, in your folder. Mana folder ni? Kenapa tak buka? Kenapa suruh buka tadi? No. Okay, if you go to the OneDrive folder, each group has its own folder. Okay, so you have your group crop top, your Cetaceous, Watson, dengan apa ni? BBG. Apalah. You submit here, but make sure you have the copy to you yourself. Alright? If suddenly I want to see the hard copy, have it with you. Okay, have it with you. Bila nak hantar? Bukan nak hantar lah. Bila make sure siap? For Raya. Okay. So you got 2 weeks to do this. Okay. So show all your calculation, because this is mathematics. Show it. For however you did your math during school, do it now. Here. Ni kan macam, for example, you want to do this and then you want to have it on the piece of paper. Letaklah A3 ke kau nak buat. Go kreatif. Lagi kreatif kau, lagi tinggi markah kau. I could see that ada group yang macam dia just boleh masukkan value, lepas tu kat bawah tu you put the screenshot of your jalan kerja. Boleh juga. Okay. Jangan masuk dalam grup orang lain. Masuk dalam grup sendiri saja. So, dah. How are you doing? Are you good? Senang? Senang je. It's no problem if you want to do individually. Make sure that you do individually, then you chat with the rest of your friends. Good? Good? So, balik bye. Tak nak buat lab, tiba-tiba terbuat lab. Macam mana? Okay, just quickly your attention. For today's activities, that is all. Okay. Is there any question before we dismiss the class? All good? All good? All good? Group 2 very focused. Are you okay? Are you okay? All good? Okay. So if you got no question, I think we can dismiss the class today. Link will be given later for the class video. We will have the video on the playlist, so you can use it to revise. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Is this an error or not?
Why?
It shrink and then it go back.
Why your fictional data is not sequential? Memang saja. Dia memang saja. Welcome to Cambridge Somerville College. Somerville tu kat Oxford. Salah universiti.
Sebab second tu dia akan jadi kecil 51 lagi.
Budak-budak ni kena ajar, jangan fikir serik sangat. Kau kena pusing-pusing kepala otak dia.
So yang tu akan jadi negatif.
Okay, I think that's all for today. So I'll dismiss the class, okay? I'll see you again next Monday.
Jadi invisible.